We remember what he did for us on the cross and in the grave. And but he couldn't do all that if he wasn't born. Right? He wasn't born in a humble stable with horses and cows and other animals around him and other things that no one would want to be born around. Right? And he came in such a humble way. So we're going to do communion, but I want to read the scripture. If I can have Brooke and Carol, or Carol stepped out. Well, have Brooke and, let's see, who would like to serve? Steve, you want to come on up to serve us communion? Steve, come on up, and we'll do that. So I want to read a scripture for you from 1 Corinthians 11, and it says this. Excuse me. For every time, so it says here in verse 24, and he gave thanks to God for it. Then he broke the pieces out and said, "This is my body, which is given to you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, he took the cup of the wine after supper, saying, "This cup is the new covenant between God and his people, an agreement confirmed with my blood. Do this in remembrance of me as often as you drink. For every time you eat this bread and drink this cup, you are announcing the Lord's death until he comes again." So anyone who eats this bread or drinks this cup of the Lord is unworthily is guilty of sinning against the body and the blood of the Lord. Here at Westside, we do an open community, meaning you don't have to be a member, you don't have to attend every week. You just have to love Jesus. And if you love Jesus, you can partake. And so we want to give you that opportunity. I'm going to say, if you guys would just come and line up, we're going to come get the elements and just hold on to them for a little bit. sometimes we go through the valleys, and that's when sometimes it's hard to get up. You're like, I don't want to go through another day. I can't take the hurt, the pain, the struggles that we have. See, it's through difficult times of walking through valleys of fear, pain, and receiving news that you don't want to hear that we learn and we grow closer to the Father. We grow closer to Jesus. the valley is we get to know him intimately because the Bible says he is our comforter. He comes and comforts us, even in times of trouble. See, blessed are those whose strength is in you, whose hearts are set on the pilgrimage. As they pass through the valley of Baca, they may be in a place they make it a place of springs. The autumn rains cover the pools, and they go from strength to strength, till each appears before God in Zion. See, the valley of Baca was a valley that you would have to go through to go to the mountain of Zion. Jerusalem sat on a hill, all right? And the hill is called Zion. And so everybody's passage, every pilgrimage would have to go through the valley. You have to go through the valley to get to the mountain. You have to go through the valley to get to the mountain. See, in the valley of Baca was a valley of tears, a valley of weeping, a valley of loss. That blessed are those whose strength is in you. The valley of Baca was hard. It was not an easy passage, but if you wanted to go to Jerusalem, if you wanted to go through the pilgrimage and get to Jerusalem, you had to go to the valley of Baca. The valley of Baca was desert country. It was covered in thorns and wild animals and vipers and other dangerous things. In life, we have to go. To get to the mountaintop, we have to go through the valley. Sometimes we're going through the valley and we feel like everything in this world, nothing else matters but what's in front of us, but our circumstance. But it's having our eyes fixed on him and our strength on God that helps us get to where we're going. Because we might be in the valley, but there is a mountaintop coming. If you don't know God personally, then all you have is all you have. If you do not have a relationship with God, all you have is all you have. You could be the wealthiest person in the world and the person with the most things and the most in their bank account and have a great relationship, but that's all you have. But if you have God, you have more than what you have. See, don't say, blessed are those who make it on their own, because that's not true. We can't do life by ourselves. One, we are created to depend on God. We are created to depend on God. Our natural is just built into our DNA, but we do not want to. Because we live in a world that is covered with sin, we want to be opposite. We don't want to depend on God because it's natural, because the spirits of this world and the things of this world want to draw us away from God, but our souls are trying to depend on and want to depend on God. That's the conflict that we struggle with as humans. I want this, but that's not what God wants for me. He wants this, and our soul and our bodies are fighting. We fight not against flesh and blood, right? But when we are, the passage went in my ear, it went in my head and out. But we struggle with our flesh, right? We struggle with our flesh. When we're fighting our flesh, all right, we fight and we continue to fight the things that our flesh wants. And we have to submit our flesh each day, right? And continue to walk in the path that the Spirit wants us to walk. And that's what we struggle with. And that's what we struggle. When we are weak, listen, the scripture says, when we are weak, his strength, he is strong. His strength is made perfect. When we are weak, people see the thing. That's why in my life, at so many low points of my life, at points where I think God wasn't working, people saw something greater than what was in me, right? When I was in the valley, people saw the king. When I struggled with my mom and I went through the things with my mom, and then people come and give me testimonies of, how can you do this? Literally, my mom died on Sunday. I had a food pantry on Monday, and I started a week-long vacation Bible school for kids on Tuesday. I kept looking. It's like, hey, listen, I'm doing this for God, right? I'm not doing it. If it was for me, right, I would say, you know what, guys, we're just going to cancel everything. I'm grieving. No one would have said a thing, right? No one would have said to me, he's grieving. He's grieving his mom. His mom just died Sunday. You want to expect him to put a food pantry on to feed 200 families on Monday and then go and minister to 100 kids this next week? Everybody would have said, it's okay, Frank, we can handle it. But I knew what I was called to do, and I knew that my mom would want me to do it. And I knew that there would be blessings from it. You know what blessings were for? We fed 200 families, 200 or so families that day, all right, and on Monday. And then that week, 60 kids gave their hearts to Jesus. And it wasn't because of me, that was because of the Father. I didn't do anything. If it was based on me, no one would have came and no one would have got saved. Because it doesn't matter. It's not about me. But when I was most weak, when I was going through my valley, I was transparent. And I shared with kids and volunteers what had happened that week. And God used my valley to minister to us. Even though we walk through the valley of darkness, even though we walk through the valley of death, I will fear no evil because you are with me. See, even though we're in the valley, his strength is made perfect. What joy for those whose strength comes from the Lord, who have set their minds on the pilgrimage to Jerusalem. They're going through the valley, but Jerusalem is just up the ways. The valley, the Zion is there. And they get to meet with God when they're on the mountaintop. But God is not just on the mountaintop, he is in the valley. See, they're going to have joy. They're going to celebrate. Most pilgrimage for the Hebrew people, when they pilgrimage to Jerusalem, it was probably for a celebration. Some sort of celebration. They were going for one of their feasts, and they were going to celebrate Passover. They were going to celebrate a feast. And so they went through the valley to get there. They knew that they would have celebration when they get to Zion. And see, we have to set our eyes on Zion, on God. God is in Zion, and we set our eyes to Zion and fix our eyes on him. And not the circumstances that we're facing in the valley. We don't fix our eyes on the circumstances that we are facing in the valley. Colossians says, blessed are those who have their mind set on God. Set your mind on the things above, not on the things below. A passage from Colossians. Whatever is pure, lovely, excellent, praiseworthy, think about it. When we're in the valley, think about the praiseworthy things. Think about the excellent things. Set your minds and your eyes on God. We must have our hearts and minds fixed on the King. If they stay fixed on our current circumstances, we lose focus on him. What you think about in this world, it matters. When I think about the things of God, my problems and my circumstances seem less critical. When I focus on the issues and the circumstances, that's all I can think about. When you go through the valley, when you're in the valley, and you start focusing on all the problems that are around you, on the scorpions, on the thorns, on the thieves, and on the dryness of the land, when we focus on that, that's all we can focus on. When we focus on God, those things seem a lot less critical. They're a lot less important. When we focus on what we put our minds on, it matters. We may be in the valley, but our minds are set on God. Our marriage may be on the rock, but our mind is fixed on him. My child might be running from God, but my mind is fixed on him. My finances are rough, but my mind is fixed on him. I don't know how I'm going to pay for Christmas, but my mind is fixed on him. My health is not in good, but my mind is fixed on him. As I pass through the valley of Baca, they make it a place of springs. The autumn rains also cover it with pools. We may be in the valley, but it's not our destination, people. The valley is not our destination. We are just passing through. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Even though you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death. David here is saying that you're going through. That means it's not your place of destination. It's not your home. You're just going through it. And one day you will, whether it be tomorrow or whether it be in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or 2 months, you're going to arrive in Jerusalem. This is not our destination. Earth is not our home. We're just passing through. Sometimes when we're in the valley, we want out of the valley. But our way is through the valley, not out of the valley. We are praying when we're going through the valley and we're going through darkness and our relationships may be a problem. Our child might be giving us grief. Right? Our health might maybe not be good. The bank account might be negative. And we're going through it and we're just like, Lord, take me out. Just lift me out of this situation and put me in the mountaintop. But God doesn't want you to do that because he's with you in the valley and he wants to strengthen you through the valley. If you don't go through the valley, you can't get to the mountaintop. If you go out, you won't go to the mountaintop. If you stop in the valley, then you won't get to your destination. You can't give up. We can't get out. We have to go through. I just think of this sometimes. My child, when I ask him to stop doing something, right? Sometimes I have my child, and this is what happens. Or he can't have something. That's his valley experience. I can't have a toy at Walmart, so I'm going to throw a pity party, throw myself on the ground, start crying, making a scene, and you're like, oh, dear, everybody's going to think I'm the worst parent in the world, right? Because my son throwing a temper tantrum because he couldn't get a little toy car, all right? And so he's throwing a temperature. He's going through this. It's the worst thing in the world. I can't go. It's the worst thing. And this is, I think, sometimes when we have a relationship with God, he's looking at us and we're in the valley. And he's like, I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. Focus on me, not the problem. That car seemed like a big problem to my child. That I'm not getting the thing. And it seems so different. Oh, that's a car. It might be a death of a loved one or a death of a friend or a broken marriage or a financial situation or whatever you're going through, right? That's a lot bigger than, I can't get a car at Walmart, right? But God looks at us and says, fix your eyes on me. Don't focus on the circumstance. Turn to me. Focus on me. You're going through it, but you're going to get to me. You're going to get to your destination. Focus on me. So many people get lost in the valley. And I'm reminded sometimes of the Israelites when they're in the wilderness, right? They get so focused on the circumstances. We don't have water. We don't have food. We don't have this. We wish we were back in Egypt where we were slaves. But God's saying, just focus on me. I have the whole promised land to give you. Come on, people. And God's a lot nicer than Pastor Frank. God's focusing. See, God has something bigger. And I'm not just saying, all right, if we have faith, then God was going to give us everything in the world. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, God in himself is good enough. So when we are broken and everything else seems wrong, we focus on God. If we have the perspective and we focus on the perspective of God, then all those problems seem like they're nothing. But when we fixate on the problems, then we create an idol. And instead of worshiping God, we're worshiping this idol. And the idol might be not like worship like traditional worship, we're praise and worshiping, but we're creating an idol. Yeah, I'm not saying that you guys are or anybody here is a bad Christian when we focus on our problems. But I'm just saying, I'm creating those like, listen, the Israelites had problems. They went and created a cow. They worshiped the snake. They thought that would solve their problems. But God was continuously telling them, let's focus on me. When our eyes get set on something that's down here, We get so temperamental, we get anxiety grows, everything goes right and left, and everything's crazy. When we fixate on this, all the problems seem so less. It seems so less. And I'm preaching this, I'm preaching it to myself. Because that's not how I want to act. I want to panic. Ask Shelley. When we have issues, I want to panic. When I get that notification that my bank account has dropped below a certain amount, I want to panic. But I fix my eyes on Christ. I turn my eyes to the only person that can solve all of my problems. And maybe he solves it, and maybe he doesn't. See, even though we're in the valley, we need to dig a well. So sometimes we are in the valley, and we are so fixated on our problems, but the Bible verse here, it's talking, it says, as they pass through the valley of Baca, they make a place of springs. The autumn rains also cover it with pools. So while they're in the valley, while they're going through things, while it's hard and there's thistles and there's thorns and there's dryness, he says there's even some relief in the valley, right? There's the rains that'll come in the autumn. And he says, dig a well so that you can not be dry. He says, dig a well. So many times we get fixated on our problems. We're so fixated on the problem that we forget to rejoice in this time. Even in the season of dryness, and we need to build wells and dig wells. Find joy even in this season. And if we're fixed on God, this becomes a lot easier than if we're not. While we're in the valley, we need to have faith that God will provide what we need while we're in the valley, right? Water is a necessity of life. When we're in the valley, we need spiritual rain from God. But we need to dig the well so that he can fill them. We need to dig the well so he can fill them. But we're in the valley. We need to do so. Now, we can believe all we want, that we believe that God's going to provide. But if we do nothing, then we have faith with no action. Faith without works. We have to dig in the valley. Yeah, I believe God can do whatever he wants. And he can provide rain even if you don't dig the well. And he can provide relief even if you don't dig the wells. But he asked us to dig the well. There's so much more. Would you guys rather have a cup? Oh, hey, it's rain. Let me pick up a cup and get a cup of rain and I drink it and it's done. Or would you rather have a well that is dug, even in sorrow and in strife and in hard times, you dig a well so that you can capture all the rain, so that when you're still going through the valley and it's a little less rain coming around, you have some water to drink. Because God provides the water. God provides the rain. And we dug the well so that we could capture the rain. So that in the season, so that we just don't have a cup, we have a well. Dig a well. Jesus asked the man who couldn't walk 38 years to take up his mat and walk. What if the guy said, I don't know. I've been paralyzed for 38 years. I'm just going to sit here because I don't believe that I can walk. But Jesus didn't say, just pull him up and get walk. He said, get up and walk. And the guy got up, carried his mat, and walked out. Jesus asked a man who had a withered hand to stretch out his hand. Then he healed him. So the guy stretched out his hand, and the Lord touched it, and he healed him. Sometimes there's just a little bit of action before the miracle. See, farmers don't just till the ground, go inside, and wait for something to grow, right? Can you imagine, just think about it, we live in farmland. Can you imagine farmers working so hard to get the ground tilled and ready, and they don't plant the seeds? And they just go inside, hey, I'm going to wait for something to grow. I see that weed growing. I see those things, That's the only thing that's going to grow is weeds and things that you don't want to grow. See, no, farmers go, they till the ground, they get it ready, they prepare the soil, and then they put the seeds down, and then God brings the rain. And then they go and they get the harvest. See, God says in his word, if you draw near to me, I will draw near to you in James 4:8. If you seek me, you will find me, Jeremiah 29:12 through 14. If you make room for me, I will reveal myself to you in John 14:21. God rarely reveals himself to people who that are rushed. When we're in a rush, God doesn't reveal himself. Doesn't necessarily reveal himself to us. And we live in a world that everything just seems so rushed. I got to go get presents. I got to get the food. I have to go get everything. I have to do this. I have to do that. We're so rushed. And we forget, we get focused. We get rushed. Oh, I have to do this, this, and that. Or situations come, I have to go get, the finances are low in my bank. I have to go get a job. I have to work. Right? So we can put the finances in our bank. And I'm not saying any of those things are wrong. But we get focused on the things of this world and not on the things of the heavenly places, on the Lord. See, what would happen if Moses saw a burning bush and said, hey, that's kind of cool. I'll see you later, burning bush, and walked away? No, but God said no. He was curious. He saw something intriguing. He walked over, and the Lord said, take off your shoes because you're standing on holy ground. Take off your shoes because you're standing on holy ground. What if Moses would have just walked away? What if Moses would have just walked away? What if the disciples would have said, no, I'm continue to be a fisherman, a tax collector. I'm continue to do the things that I'm used to doing. God never gives promises that he won't go. God never promises that we won't go through valleys. We're going to go through valleys. We need to go through valleys. It's where we grow. But we'll never go through it alone. God said he's with us. We may feel like we're in a dark and stormy, or perhaps even dry or overwhelming valley. Your troubles may seem great, that you feel so great that you can't go on and you feel weak and you're saying, I'm done. And there might be somebody sitting here today and said, this is it. This is it. I'm done. Done with life, done with faith, done with church, done with people. Let me tell you this. You're not alone. God is with us. God is with you. God is strong, and you are not alone. He's with you. In the story of my mom's passing, God was with me. God helped me. He gave me little glimpses that set my life on him, set my eye back on him, refocus what I was doing. I was a complete mess. I don't remember what people said to me. I don't remember what we did. I remember certain moments. I remember things that I did for ministry. I remember things, but life was just felt overwhelming. It felt like a valley. I cried deeply. It wasn't just tears. It was cries from my core. This was my valley experience. This was the pain. You're so curious. It's so fun that this was the sermon for today, because today is my mom's birthday. And I just felt like her testimony and my testimony of going through the valley of her death. And it just happened to land on her birthday. And I shared about that dream. God gave me relief. He sent the rain while I was in the valley. is running and is far from God, if your finances are not where where you want them to be, I don't know if you are going through a relationship issue or whatever you're going through, I want to say, fix your eyes on God. Maybe you're asking yourself, how can I fix my mind more on God? Get in His Word. Stop focusing on what this world. In this Christmas season, it's a season where we celebrate the King, but the world's going to try to distract you. It's going to try to get you focused on Christmas meals and Christmas dinners and snacks and presents and gift giving and getting and Christmas lists and pictures and all this kind of stuff. Now, all that stuff is good, but it's not good if that's what we're focusing on. If we don't focus on God and fix our mind on God. What season of life am I in now? Am I in the valley? Some of you guys might be going through it right now. And you're struggling. And it's dry. I want to encourage you to dig a well and let the Lord fill it while you're in the valley and let you know that that's not your destination. It's not your home. Maybe you're on a mountaintop. I want to say this. There's going to be a season where you're going to be in the valley. It may not be right now, but there'll be a season when we're come down off the mountain and we have to journey to the next one. And there's going to be a valley. There's going to be thorns and thistles and thieves and robbers and all this stuff. Prepare now and fixate, even on the mountaintop, fixate and fix your eyes on Jesus. Because let me just be honest, it's easy to get distracted on the mountaintop. Sometimes I think it's even more just easy to get distracted when everything's going right. Right? We don't have to worry, and we tend to, I don't need to worry about my bank account. I don't need to worry about my relationships. Everything's good. And so we don't go to Jesus. We don't ask Him. We're not in conversation with Him. We're not in the intimacy with the Lord. Because we're in the valley, everything's good. Or on the mountain, everything's good. Let me just say this. Fix your eyes on God, no matter the circumstance. In the valley, on the mountaintop, fix your eyes on God. Because God isn't just the God of the valleys. He's the God of the mountains. What can I do to prepare, can do in my valley to prepare for God's faithfulness? God's not going to let you die in the valley. God's not going to let you die. You fix your eyes on Him. He won't give up. He hasn't, and He won't give up. You're in the valley. Just know you're going through. You're going to Zion. This mountain. Fix your eyes. Father God, today, I don't know what we're going through, Lord. There's some people in here might be going through stuff. But let them know it's not their destination. That they shouldn't give up. That you are there with them in the valleys and you're taking them to the mountains. Lord, I thank you for these wonderful people. And I ask that you bless them. And as we go through this Advent season, may we fix our eyes on the true purpose of Christmas and not what the world is telling us. May we focus on God and not on the things of this world. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, we're going to dismiss. If you needed prayer, we have our prayer team here. Carol will stay around a little bit. Shelly and I will be here if you need some prayer. If you need to go a fellowship, or if you want to get going, you have somewhere you need to be. I just want to wish you a blessed day, a blessed week, and I hope to see you guys next week. All right. Oh, one last thing. If you can want to invite somebody to our Christmas services, we have a little card here that Shelly's got a pack full of them. There's some in the foyer too. Grab one of these, invite a friend, a family member to come to our Christmas service. It's going to be really amazing, and I know that because the Lord's going to be here. So God bless you guys. Have a great week. I love you, and give each other a hug on the way out too.